Hello everybody, welcome into the HobbyBarr. This is Jason, and welcome. If you do any hobbying, feel free to get out your medium, jump on in. If you don't, feel free to enjoy. Just kick back and relax. Today, I want to work on these last four models for my Ratcatcher's guild team from Guild Ball. It's basically soccer, but you can take each other out for points as well. It is officially no longer supported, but the community might continue, but there's just models in my backlog, so I want to get them done. And I have a bunch more from the game system that I also want to complete, so we had those that we can get done too later on. First, what I wanted to do though was take care of the metal on their weapons, because they've been sitting there just base coated black, and I want to dry brush on some metal on them because I want them to be kind of old but still metallic items on them. So for two of these guys, I'll go ahead and get some Necron Compound out and just dry brush this onto their weapons, because I still want them to be very dark, but I do want them to have that metallic shine on them. So we'll be going ahead and dry brushing that onto them. If I can finish up painting up one game's worth of models that I have, that'd feel amazing. But yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time, especially with how I want to change around projects. But we'll go ahead and get this dry brushed on to this guy and the captain, and then we'll move on to the next paint, which will be getting all the picking out the tails on the various rats on the players, with some Citadel Bugman's glue. Anyway, catch y'all in a little bit. So instead of going with the Bugman's glue and picking out tails, I decide to go ahead and just pick out all the metal bits right now while I'm at it. So we'll get some Vallejo gunmetal here on the palette, mix it up, get some medium in it just so it flows a little bit better. And then we'll go across all the models and pick out some of the metal that I forgot to pick out. So on this one, there's some chains on her waist that I wanted to pick out. So go ahead and get that done. On the big guy, there's like a necklace that he has with all the skulls. There's the ring on his belt and a few different spots around him that I wanted to pick out that are probably metal. Pick out the tools on Piper, the captain, who's standing there on one foot, and pick out the belt buckles on the other guy who has the pack of rats on his back. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pick all those out with some gunmetal, and then we'll catch up with y'all after I change out the water. Because that's something you want to do after you use some metallics generally, is change out the water so you don't get metallic flakes into your other stuff. Alright, so catch y'all when we move on to the Bugman's Glow. Alright, now we'll move on to picking out the tails of the rats with some Citadel Bugman's Glow. It's a base paint, and it's what I use to kind of pick out some of the tails on some of the other players that I have finished. And later you also see me pull out the ball for the Ratcatchers, and it's just a big fat rat. And I use it sort of to get the gist of the basing for how I want to replicate that in the team, not so much to show off the color scheme. But I used Bugman's Glow for the tail and if I wanted to pick out the face and ears of the rats, but I don't think I want to do that on all of them, so I'm just using it on the tails, and we'll move on from there just to get this team painted up and good to go. To this, we'll still be adding some medium, but yeah, it'll be the Army Painter medium instead of Citadel. I've been using some of the Citadel medium that I put into the dropper bottles on some other projects, because I do want to paint up some stuff to continue through the backlog. I don't want it all to be on the channel. This way I can actually proceed through, because I'm still not that great at editing stuff together and doing it in a reasonable amount of time. So, yeah. Sadly, you won't be seeing that progress on my, what are they called? Morgwhite's Blade Coven, but I've been kind of using some of the Citadel medium in that instead of the war paint mixing medium, because I noticed the Army Painter war paint mixing medium tends to leave things pretty glossy, actually. So I might be using a bit too much of it, but we'll find out. It'll take a bit more experimenting, I think, and get everything going right. Anyway, catch up with y'all here later. This does get interrupted towards the end of it for this segment by a phone call. And after doing this, I believe there's more that I do before the end. I don't think it's just picking out the tails for the rest of it. Yeah, we get on to actually coloring in the base here later. So, I'll catch up with y'all after the interrupting phone call, and when we start moving on to painting in the base to actually get the dirty mud going. Alrighty, we'll be using some Citadel Dryad Bark here for the dirt color. Want a nice dark mud. And there on the table next to everyone is the little rat ball that they have. Their mascot is an even bigger rat than that one, but I figured the ball will let me see most of the base there, so I can try to match the colors for the other three that are done. Yeah, we'll just base coating that on all four of them, and then we'll actually throw a wash over it to get into those recesses and darken that, and then I don't do it this time, but I'll have to go over it with a dry brush and figure out the color for that. So that'll come next episode. Do that and then rim the bases on them and maybe sneak peek at the next project, which is getting that Super Dungeon Explorer minis base done. And then after that, well, kind of open for what's next. Might start a brand new mini, this way I'm not jumping in halfway through one, or halfway through a group of them again. maybe either go back to my Gene Stealer cults or work on a Knight Sephiroth from the start for Age of Sigmar. Go on to some other projects that are around, mostly Warhammer stuff, because that's mostly what I have collected. But we'll figure that out here next time. We'll cover possible other options in the last call. Anyway, I'll catch you all when we move on to the wash stage on the bases to get this color dialed down to a more earthy tone. See y'all in a bit. Alrighty, we are now moving on to using good old Citadel Agrax Earthshade. I just want to sort of get through the pot of it. This way I can finish it up. I got maybe about a third of the pot left. So I want to get through that and then move on to trying the Army Painter stuff. I've been pretty happy with the Army Painter Quick Shade line of washes. They work really well. Only thing I still need to, I feel like I need to shake them up more because they're still kind of glossy, but I think that'll come with usage and getting used to them. I could always add some medium to it, like Lamian medium or something, try to knock down that shininess, but I feel like it'll just come with more usage. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get this Agrax Earthshade all over the bases of these 4 Ratcatchers, and then we'll go on to the last call before the end of this. Yeah, I'll catch y'all in a little while then. Alrighty, last call, everybody. So, for today's last call, what do you think the next project should be? After the little chibi Super Dungeon Explorer mini space is done up, I really don't have the next project of half paints lined up. I could bring out the Incarn for finishing up my Yanari faction, or we can move on to other projects that need to get done around here, either some Sisters of Battle, Adeptus Sororitas if you will, some Craft Worlder stuff, some Age of Sigmar stuff, just figuring out what to do next, if y'all want to see anything in particular. I kind of feel like maybe we should do one from start to finish on the channel. So, I'm hoping that'll be the next thing. But if y'all want to see the Incarn next, hey, I'll bust out that boyo and get that done. Do also want to say, kind of want to give myself some goals for subscriber counts. So, like, if we hit, I'll start low and say 50 subs, I'll bust out the, Dracolord conversion that I have to paint up still, and we'll work on painting that up on the channel. It's a conversion I did of Dryad Hamadrith and a Wraithlord, just sort of bolted Wraithlord parts onto Dryca, and yeah, she's I already have another Dryca, so this is my second one just because I love the model, and I wanted to make her into a Wraithlord because she's pretty dope, but I feel like that can be my 50 or 100 subscriber goal, and then like maybe at 1,000 or something, bust out the Baneblight. I don't know. I'll figure out goals as we get to them. But reaching 50, I think, will be the next little step. And I mean, it's a big step going from here to 50, but maybe if we make it there, it'll feel special and like I'm doing something right. Anyway. Thoughts on the next project? That's leave it in the comment below, or comments below, and let me know what you want to see next. Whether it's Warhammer Age of Sigmar 40k or something else, because I can go back to Chibi Minis, because there's still those other two that I filled the gap in on, or other Super Dungeon Explorer Minis, or whatever. Or if you want to see some assembly on the channel, you can assemble up some stuff, go through the whole process. Assembly through painting. But yeah, just leave it down below in the comments for what you want to see next for the last call. And with that, I'll go ahead and close up shop. So, have a good one everybody, and I'll see you next time.